They're called Rambutans. I'm introducing you to Rambutans today. Maybe you know about them already, but a lot of my friends probably don't know what these things are called. I sent this to a friend the other day and they called them hairy balls. I went, what are you talking about? I went, oh, the photo I sent you. Yeah, Rambutan. This is native to Indonesia. So obviously Bali is part of Indonesia. A lot of people think that Bali is its own place. It is part of Indonesia. It does have its own culture, obviously, Bali. And it's a big island, and this is where I am at the moment. I've been here for the last 4 days, 5 days. I don't know, I can't. When you're on holidays, you don't know what day it is, right? So these are Rambutans. So I'm Dora, by the way, from Australia, hence the accent. And there's some weird noises outside my room. Anyway, Rambutan. So it is morning this morning. Oh, it is morning this morning. Of course it is. It's 8:19 a.m. So a lot of, from my, no, that makes sense because like for my American friends, it is afternoon. So they don't know what time it is in Bali. They have no idea. So anyway, welcome in. Yeah, we're going to have breakfast and we're going to have some Rambutan. Now, to add to this, Dora is a backpacker at heart, okay? I like backpacking. And you know the reason why I like backpacking? Backpacking is referring to like staying in kind of cheaper accommodations, carrying a backpack around, a day, like a big backpack instead of a suitcase, just for easy mobility. While I still have my mobility, I'm going to use that form of transport, 2 feet in a heartbeat. And where am I going with this? Because it saves me money, right? And a lot of people say to me, why be so frugal, Dora? Like, I mean, God, you live in Australia, so, a great Western country. Compared to Indonesia, which I'm half Indonesian, they have no social system here. Like, if you're unemployed, you don't get money from the government. In Australia, we get money from the government if we're unemployed. We get money if we're sick. We get money if we're old. It doesn't exist here in Indonesia or in a lot of Asian countries. I lived in Mexico for a bit. That doesn't exist in Mexico. We are very lucky in Australia. So why, Dora, are you trying to save money when you travel to another country? Well, so that I can travel more. That's purely it, right? Because this is just one trip I'm doing this year. I'm doing another trip later on this year that is costing a little bit more money. It's one of my dream trips, right? So if I'm going to have this trip and I spend lots of money, hey, Am, right now, then I'm not going to be afford my other trip. So this is why I backpack. I am a little bit more frugal when I travel. Why I have breakfast in my room or seek out a cheaper breakfast. There is breakfast downstairs in the hotel. I think it costs about $7.50 Australian, which is not a lot of money. Like you think about $7.50 Australian to get breakfast is not a lot of money. In American terms, like Miss M, $7.50 would be like $4.50 American for breakfast. And I think you get scrambled eggs or fried eggs, whatever eggs you want. And there's like, little bits of like, sausages and potato, just things you want to add into some fruit, a tea or coffee. So it's not bad, right? But Dora, this is what Dora does. She buys some fruit. I have some salak I told you about the other day, salak, snake fruit. I want to tell you about this fruit today. This is Rambutan. Okay, we're going to have this for breakfast. We bought some bananas yesterday too. Bananas are good for you. But I have in my fridge some yogurt. I have blueberry yogurt. And I also bought this yogurt too. And I have a little bit of fruit left. Pineapple. We're going to eat the rest. Oh, I think we're going to have this fruit. We're going to have this one today. Oh, actually, I've completely forgot. I've got to get my... So another thing is when you're on holidays or on a trip, I try to stay in a little bit of my routine, just to hold on to a little bit of routine. Like I said, mentally, I don't say, but I talk about on my channel that, looking after your mental health, your soul, your body is really, it's all connected to why I can travel and why I can do adventures, right? Because if I don't have a healthy mind, I'm not healthy, I'm not going to be able to travel. So important to have those kind of things in place. They don't always connect, but I try. So one of those things for me is, if you watch my channel a bit, I do a green juice in the morning. Now, this is my backpack. It's all over the ground. Still, after 5 days, I haven't cleaned up. It's on the ground. Now, let me see. I've got somewhere in here, I have green powder. Oh, there we go, green powder. It's called Vital All-in-One, 78 nutrients. And I like it. I mean, this could be a placebo effect. People will be like, oh, you don't need that stuff. That's all right. I'm doing my life, you do your life. As I said, I have a routine that I like and it works for me. I'm healthy, I'm wealthy in my own right. So when I talk about wealthy, I don't mean like money wealth. I'm talking about wealthy inside, like, health is your wealth. So I feel very, very wealthy because I've got my health. Some people don't have that. I see people walking around Bali, like, hobbling the streets, and they're in wheelchairs, or they just stay in their hotel rooms and they look out the window. They don't have the joy of walking the streets like I do. Not everyone wants to walk the streets like I do, mind you, but still, I do. So anyway, I have a bottle of water. I cleaned it out yesterday. Now I try to do this try to be a little bit neater so I don't get it everywhere, but here it goes. So these are little travel packs I bought. Not sponsored, guys. I talk about these guys for free, guys, because I think I love it. I buy it from a health food shop, guys. Yeah. Did I get it all out? I got it all out. Okay, let's put that in the bin. I've only got a little bit on the table. Ended up with it everywhere pretty much. Some water, because you can't drink the water here in Bali, guys. You can't drink the water in Indonesia at all. The taps, you have to buy water, unfortunately. And I hate using plastic bottles, I'm gonna be honest. So in my life in Australia, I don't use plastic bottles at all. I hate them. I just use them for necessity. I'm just gonna go wash that off so I don't end up on my hands. And then we shake, rattle and roll, shake, rattle and roll, shake, rattle and roll. And a little bit of movement doesn't hurt anyone, right? Bob's your uncle. Or in my case, Uncle Jack's my uncle. I love it. Really good stuff. Let me get the chair. Shannon Star, hello Shannon, how you going? Shannon, it's raining in Bali today. How are you, mate? I was saying to you in a comment before that I will be doing more lives in the morning when you guys are awake because I'm able to now. I don't know, there must have been some kind of function. I am doing great. There was some kind of function on my phone when I got a SIM card put in. I use one of those eSIMs. I don't buy them online, or I don't buy them before I get to a country. I get them when I'm in the country. And not like Shannon that has an international one that she doesn't have to worry about that stuff. It's amazing, Shannon. You're very lucky. We don't have that in Australia. So Shanster's Travel is in America. She's in, it's not Michigan, because that's where, no, you are in Michigan. Minnesota is where Mike is from. Michigan, she's 30 minutes out from Detroit. I'm still here listening. Michigan. Okay. So she has an international SIM, basically an international plan where she can travel anywhere around the world and has data and be able to ring home. I think that's really, really, really lucky. I don't know why we don't have that in Australia. It's really unlucky because I turn my data like roaming off, because obviously if I use data here, it'll cost me the earth, like ridiculously amount of money. Ridiculous. So Shannon, what I'm going to talk about today is Rambutan. Ever seen this before, guys? Rambutan. That was the first time I used that international calling and it worked great. Oh, it's great. So Em and Shannon are making friends. Em is in America also. Em is, I think she's wanting to be a content creator. Shannon is a content creator. She does a lot of travel adventures. We just met up. I don't know if you saw that, Em. We met up in Brisbane. Shannon was doing a cruise and she stopped off in Brisbane and we had an adventure together. We saw koalas and kangaroos and kookaburras and wallabies. Okay, anyone seen these before? Rambutan. That is what we're going to talk about today, guys. But I'm just going to finish my juice off first. And maybe we'll get some more people online. Haven't seen them. Yeah, they're native to Indonesia, actually. There is actually quite a few fruit that are native to Indonesia. Like also salak. Have you seen these before, Shannon? Were you on the live the other day when I was eating the salak? Again, also native to Indonesia. Interesting. So it is 8:30 a.m. here in Bali, not Australia, and it's breakfast time for me. So I'm just having my morning drink. Now, I purposely slept in this morning because tonight is like a big festival here. It's today, actually. Today's like, there'll be lots of different things happening today in Bali. So tomorrow is Nepi Day, which is a day that I've never even heard of. I'm going to be honest, I never heard of it. Came to Bali and Paul said to me, you've come at a really good time because Nepi Day is a day they celebrate here for the Hindu religion. And yeah, I'm really excited to see it actually. But I'll get more into that in a second. But that's the reason why I kind of slept in and relaxed this morning, because tonight I'm going to be up later. There'll be a lot of excitement. I don't want to be yawning. I've been yawning at the beach in the afternoons watching the sunset, just yawning away. I'm like, because, you know, your travel clock, I mean, even though it's 2 hours, we are 2 hours behind where I live in Brisbane. Doesn't seem like a lot. Shannon can get this because she went from like, you know, Australian time, back in time, back home to Detroit, flying back to Detroit, and like her body clock is completely warped for like 3 or 4 days, and then she had to take a Valium to like have some sleep. But even like the 2 hour difference, it affects your body, right? Because, you know, my body's used to waking up about 6 o'clock in the morning in Brisbane time. Now it's waking up like at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm trying to force it to go to sleep longer so that I can stay up longer in the evening, right? So it's very interesting. Even those 2 hours, it means something, right? It'll be great when I come back to Australia, I'm gonna be honest, because it means that I will be getting up early. Because normally when you have, you know, you travel, you get jet lag, you end up sleeping like really weird days and long days and stuff. So it's I love coming back from an Indonesian trip or an Asian trip because I end up getting up more earlier in the morning. So it's really good for your body clock, for, you know, exercising in the morning. So I just talked briefly about how when I'm on a trip, I try to keep to some kind of routine. Green powder is how I do that. I take a little satchel from home and I have it every morning just before I have breakfast. Or go for a walk and then have it and then go for a walk. But anyway, it's raining outside, guys. It's raining. 15-hour difference for me, still working out and getting caught up. Yeah, I know. It takes a while. It does take a while. So you've been home for about 2-3 weeks now, I think. So it's interesting, right? Okay. So I talked also about, you know, wanting to try this fruit, but also about how when I travel, I try to say 10 days. Oh God, it's only been 10 days. Wow, interesting. Time flies when you're having fun, right? So I talk about on my channel how I like to backpack. And the reason why I like that is because it means I can travel for longer or more often. Now, I don't come from a background of lots of money. I'm very wealthy in my own right, as in like I feel like I'm very wealthy. I'm very, very grateful for what I have. Like as in like I have the ability to earn income. Like there's some countries that you can go travel, like for example Indonesia. They, the social system doesn't exist. It's hard to get jobs. A lot of people don't have jobs, so a lot of people don't have money, and here's Dora, being able to travel. Like I went to, well, my last international trip last year was to Europe. And also went to Samoa last year, and I also went to Indonesia last year. So I did 3 trips last year. Last year was a good year. That's not a normal year. Like, some years I don't travel, some years I'll do 3 trips, some years I'll do 1 trip. But the reason why I can do that is because I don't spend a lot of money when I travel. Like, mind you, from Australia, the flight's the most expensive thing. Pretty much anywhere you go, the flight's going to be always the most expensive thing for me. But at the moment, I'm paying $30 a night for accommodation. It is all I need. It has a safe, it has a bed, the door's safe, I can lock the door, it's safe, I feel safe. It has a toilet. The bonus has got a fridge. Bonus, right? It's got Wi-Fi. Oh my God, it's got Wi-Fi. So like, I don't spend a lot of money on accommodation. I never do, because I don't feel like it's part of where I need to be. I don't spend a lot of time in the room. Like yesterday, I think I left about 7:30. I didn't get home till about 7:30 last night. I went away for 12 hours, and like I wasn't going anywhere different. I was just walking the streets basically, but I just didn't need to come back to my room. I had everything in my backpack, because I said I carry everything in my backpack. And yeah, I just didn't come back to my room. So I don't particularly care about my room. As long as it's safe, it looks after your stuff, right? I have my passport here, so shh. So as I said, rooms don't mean much to me, but okay, CM, but I also don't spend a lot of money on, different things like breakfast. Sometimes I'll go out for breakfast. Like the other day, I went out for breakfast. And even though it's relatively cheap here in Indonesia for breakfast, I don't need to have a big breakfast every morning. Like downstairs at the hotel, it's about $7.50 for a breakfast. Paul has that included in his room, so he has breakfast every day. I haven't joined him yet. I can go pay $7.50 if I want to. You can do eggs, fruit, a whole lot of kind of smorgasbordy kind of like buffet kind of style, a bit of toast, a cup of tea. That is what I'm craving, a cup of tea. So what I've been doing is I've got yogurt in the fridge. I've got a strawberry yogurt. I don't have a spoon, so I'm using a paddle pop stick. It works. I buy little bits of fruit, so I've got a little bit of pineapple left. I've got bananas. We're going to eat rambutan. We've got snake fruit. I have muesli bars too, so I could put muesli in it if I wanted to. Yeah, if I wanted to. But I did bring from home tea bags. I have premium black tea for breakfast, and they have some tea bags for nighttime, which is like, they call it chai masala. So I love tea bags, but I don't have a kettle in my room. So guess what I did? I asked. I said, do you have a kettle? Can I borrow one? Yeah, sure. We have a kettle. Now, I filled it up last night, turned it on. I went, shit, what am I going to drink out of? I don't actually have something to drink out of it. Most hotels, if they give you a kettle, they give you cups. They don't give you a kettle, so they don't give you cups. So I couldn't have a cup of tea last night for dinner. So this morning when they cleaned my room, I asked them if I could have a cup. Then I asked if I could have another cup, because I do like a cup of tea. 2 cups of black tea for breakfast. So anyway, let's turn the kettle on. Now, the other thing is also, this room is not obviously built for kettles, so there is no plug up on a table to plug in. And the kettle's only got a short lead. So this is what I've done. I have used a table, like a little drawer from here, to be able to plug it in, and it's just plugged in just enough. So we can turn it on. Yep, turn it on. There we go. So now we're able to boil the kettle. Anyway, we're going to prepare our breakfast. Breakfast prepared. Breakfast prepared. We have some fruit. We have some pineapple. I bought this 3 days ago. bought a whole lot. I bought red papaya, I bought some dragon fruit and some pineapple. And this is fine. I probably should have asked for a spoon too, but this will work. It works. So this cost 110, which is $1.10 Australian. So that would be an American for you, Shannon, would be 80 cents probably. So Shannon, yeah, dragon fruit. Dragon fruit's amazing, right? Oh, I've got a plant growing in my yard at the moment at home. We're hoping to get some dragon fruit one day. They're so pretty. My mum grows them on her farm, and they are just so the most prettiest thing ever. I stayed up at my mum's a couple of weeks ago actually, and outside my room were these beautiful white flowers, and they're the dragon fruit flowers. They're beautiful. After flower, they turn into dragon fruit. That's good. The kettle's very, very quiet. I hope it works. I'm really looking forward to a cup of tea. I sat in a cup. The other day I went to the markets to have breakfast, and I was walking past a cafe and I stopped and had a cup of tea. It was lovely. So, oh, I can hear the kettle you're moving now. Now, have little sticks that go with the fruit. So Indonesia is quite prepared for, like, travelers, I guess, to eat fruit. But, even the locals, they cut up fruit. I bought yesterday a whole packet of cut up pineapple. It cost like $1. So, a lot of fruit's been eaten here in these kind of countries because there's a lot of fruit growing. So it's readily available, so people eat it. In Western countries, like for example me, I live in suburbia, a lot of people don't grow fruit and vegetables, so you can't eat it off your own land. Luckily, we've grown pineapples at the moment, and they are so nice. But I don't have that many pineapples, all right? So you have to buy them. So, and they're expensive, and a lot, fruit is expensive, expensiver. So, not a lot of people do eat a lot of fruit. I personally do. Shannon, I think Shannon loves bananas. I was thinking of you yesterday, actually, Shannon. I bought bananas. Yesterday. They cost me about 20 cents. That's so funny. I completely forgot about that. I don't normally eat bananas. I've actually never actually used to eat bananas. The reason why I started eating bananas was because I started growing bananas. Yep, in our backyard we were growing bananas, and I thought, you know what? I need to eat them. And they're not that bad. They're not that bad. This is slow going, eating yogurt with a stick. It works though, guys, it works. I think sometimes, oops, I can see the steam coming out, so it is working. It's working. I think, actually I know, guys, that, the creature comforts that we have in Western worlds or in life in general, like spoons and forks, it makes eating, easier, right? So when you take that away from you, you become a little bit more humble, right? Like the other day, I was literally using this to have my yogurt. It took me a long time to eat the yogurt, I'm going to say. So I bought a paddle pop the other day to have a stick. So then I could have yogurt like this. I mean, a lot of people be like, oh, for God's sake, Dora, just go and have breakfast downstairs. This is more fun for me. I've got to say, this is fun. And it's interesting. That's all I'm going to go with that. It's interesting. And I'm not saying do what I do. Trust me, don't do what I do. I always say that. Do you, I do me. But, you know, I don't mind me. It works for me. And this breakfast will be, you know, like, I don't know, I won't do the maths, but like, probably cost me like $2 eventually. That means I can spend, you know, can have another beer, I can have, I don't know, buy something for $5, have a treat. Have a massage on the beach. $5 for a massage on the beach yesterday, guys. $5. Let me tell you the story, right? So, this is like I said, I was talking about how Indonesia does not have a social system. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Trying to think about safety. There's no plugs really well to be able to boil this kettle. And it's kind of, the steam is coming up. And it's taking a long time to boil. Obviously don't want it to catch on fire, right? Just saying. But it is steaming up. I think this will be the last time I make a cup of tea, guys. As I said, it needs an extension cord. There's nowhere to plug in close to the ground. I'm using I don't know if this is a really good idea, guys. Okay, we're just gonna let it play out. I think it's the steam of the kettle. Kettles steam up, right? So it's right, all good. So Shannon's got here, I am not a big breakfast person either, but Michelle introduced me to crumpets. Oh, crumpets. Crumpets with honey are good. Crumpets with honey are really nice, actually. Yeah, crumpets are good. Yeah. Crumpets with Vegemite. I know you don't like Vegemite, but crumpets with Vegemite are actually pretty good. Really good. So another thing is that tomorrow being the day of silence here, Nepi Day, so basically the hotel here, I came in one afternoon and they give you a whole sheet of information about Nepi Day. So I'll read this out to you guys in a second, but I'm just waiting for this cup of tea to boil. So I have been kind of starting to stockpile some food so that I have treats and food for the day, because I said we can't leave the hotel. You can eat stuff at the hotel. The hotel doesn't have a huge range of food. I mean, it has stuff, but yeah, it won't have a huge selection that day because there won't be that many staff working. They have they're going to have a smorgasbord, just so that you can I think it's $25 and you can just eat what you want. I'm weighing it up if I'm going to do that or not. As I said, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on, but what Nepi Day means and what I'm going to do on that day. But yeah, I'm just still waiting for this cup of tea to boil and then we'll get into that. She made them with butter and honey, laugh. That is how she has with hers. Yeah, Vegemite. It's honestly really nice. Yeah. And then you're missing out, mate. You're missing out by not having Vegemite. I think it's definitely an acquired taste. I think you probably owe it to yourself to try it again next time you come to Australia, Shannon. Okay, I don't think this kettle works, guys. The kettle has been boiling for like, what seems like 10 minutes. All right, let's turn this off. Ah, fuck. Okay. Give me a second, guys. I think the kettle doesn't work. Let me just chuck it outside. It was taking 5 minutes, and I think it just kept on boiling. Probably not a good thing. It's still boiling. It started to heat up. Like, that's not good when it heats up this. So a lot of the stuff that you can buy here in Indonesia are like cheaply made in China. So it probably wasn't a very good kettle. So let's go with this. We're not having a cup of tea. All right. Let me read. Okay, we've got some new people to the chat. Vegemite is gross. Environmental. Come on, mate. You were born in Australia and you do not like Vegemite. What is wrong? Come on. Okay, so let me read what Nappy Day is, guys. All right. Does anyone know what Nappy Day is, actually? You like fermented liver. It's like fermented liver. Okay, right. Okay, righto. Okay, so guys, Nappy Day is tomorrow, or today is kind of part of Nappy Day. So Nappy Day information. Okay. Nappy Day is a Balinese Hindu celebration. Nappy Day, Day of Silence, which marks the Saka New Year, 1948, in the Balinese calendar. Nepi is a scarred day dedicated to silence, self-reflection and meditation. Yes, it is very salty. Nepi begins at sunrise on Thursday, the 19th of March, 2026, and it lasts until sunrise, Friday, the 20th of March. During this period, the island observes complete silence and minimal activity. Okay, so there's four things that are prohibited in Nepi Day. No work, no physical activity is allowed. No lighting of fires, no excessive lights, including cooking. No travelling. Everyone must remain within their residence or accommodation. No entertainment, no recreational activities are permitted. Spirituality, Nepi Day is time to practice Mulut Sarya, which means self-introspection and reflection. It is an opportunity to meditate, renew one's mind and spirit for the coming year. Nepi Day Eve celebration, so that's today. Yes, it's like that. But have you ever heard of it before, environmental? So environmental, meet Shansta. Shansta's in Michigan, and I just recently met her. She came to Brisbane and we met up. I love her. She's a cruising channel. Well, she's not really a cruising channel. She's a channel that just loves to travel. Environmental, Shansta is Shannon. He is in Victoria, a friend of mine. He's not a creator. He's just he doesn't like Vegemite. So there's something wrong there, guys. I'm just saying. So anyway, just talking back to Nepi Day. So today is Nepi Eve. On the eve before Nepi, Balinese communities hold lively celebrations symbolising the cleanse of the environment from negative energy. Young people parade huge handmade statues called Oga Oga, which represents evil spirits. These statues are carried through the streets, accompanied by music and noise, and are usually burnt at the end of the procession. And then basically they're chucked into the water. So I think it's really, really symbolic, and I really like it. As I said, I really think that when you travel, that you should embrace the cultures, regardless of your own faith, right? That if you're going to travel to a country, you should, learn about it and see what it's about. You might not believe in it. I'm not a Hindu, but I think it's beautiful. Why not? I'm here. I might as well see what it's all about, right? The guidelines in the hotel. During Nepi Day, we kindly ask our guests to remain quietly within the hotel compound. You're not allowed out, okay? You're actually not allowed out. Minimise lighting in the room and use a bed lamp as recommended if lighting is required. Please note the TV broadcast will not be available on Nepi Day, so the TV won't be able to work. So talking about that, they've actually boarded up my window. Look at this, guys. So because I have lights in here. Look at this, guys. Literally boarded up. Boarded up. So all the rooms here are boarded up so that no light can get through. No light can get through. Well, you can get a little bit of light. So they take it very seriously, which I think is really, really good that they take it seriously. So actually, Paul, like a lot of you guys know, Paul D. Australia's here with me also in this trip. Well, not with me, but he's on his own trip here. He's staying downstairs. He stayed here a few times when this happens. They actually chain up the gate, so you actually can't get out. And the streets, they actually have policemen. They're actually not normal policemen. They're called, I don't know, there's a special name for them. They wear black. They walk the streets so that you cannot leave the property. So if you're found on the street, you will be taken to jail. Hey, it's hello Dora and friends in the chat. Hope you're all well. So traveling with the Combs. Hello guys. There's Ash, Brandon and Ash, right? Brandon and Ash. How you going, guys? You guys are from somewhere in America. Are you from Michigan? I think you're from Michigan too, aren't you? Do you know Shannon? Shannon's from Michigan. I think you do. So we're just talking, we're in Bali at the moment, Brandon and Ash. Environmental. Before artificial lights, women's menstrual cycles were aligned with the moon. Probably true, actually. Probably true. Probably true. So guys, we're talking about Nepi Day here in Bali. So I'm in Bali at the moment and we're just talking about the traditions here and what tourists have to expect and do here. As I said, you cannot leave the property. So tomorrow, cannot leave the property. Dining arrangement. So if you're staying in a hotel, you're allowed to get out of your room and walk around the property. They've got a swimming pool here. They've got some nice gardens. They've got a restaurant and bar. So we're actually able to go to the bar and drink and swim if we want to and do all the things, but we know there'll be no loud music. Out of respect, you know, you can't make lots of noise. Wisconsin, that's right, Wisconsin. Okay, that's not wrong. I was Michigan. You're near Michigan, right? Wisconsin. I got it. Wisconsin. Well, welcome in, guys. I'm just talking about a tradition here happening in Bali at the moment. Today is called Nepi Eve. It's like basically the calendar, the New Year's calendar. So tomorrow is the day of silence here, and there's some rules for us tourists here. We're not allowed on the street, and if we're not allowed on the street, we can't get any food. So if you're at a hotel, you can get food from the hotel, but it's limited, right? So this is what they're talking about here. Dining arrangements, all meals during Nepi Day will be served in the restaurant. If your room rate includes breakfast, you can enjoy breakfast as usual. If your breakfast is not included in your room, which is me, I don't have breakfast included, you can purchase it directly at the restaurant. Lunch and dinner will be charged separately. During Nepi Day, the restaurant will offer limited selected menu. So this is the times you can eat. So breakfast is 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Lunch is 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and dinner is 3 o'clock to 5:30. So please note that the restaurant will close at 5:30 and meals requested after this time cannot be accommodated. We kindly recommend ordering before 5:30. After Nepi Day, breakfast will be served on Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. So basically, they're saying that, you know, there will be food available. Oh, actually, they gave me a menu, actually. Gave me a menu. Oh, this is the menu for the all-you-can-eat before 5:30. They call it Happy Silence Day. So so basically, we have, so you got a blizzard. 14 inches of snow tonight, where we're getting 4 more. Wow, that's a lot of snow. Jeez, okay, wow. It's interesting. You know, the other side of the world is hot as hell in Bali, and then, you know, you guys are still, you know, you're in spring and you're still actually getting some snow. Wow, in Wisconsin, wow. In Michigan, Shannon, are you still snowing also? So, yeah, it's very interesting, this Nepi Day. As I said, I'm really excited to see it. All right, so let's talk about this fruit. I wanted to show you. So Brendan and Ash, have you ever seen this before? Rambutan. It's only found in Indonesia. Well, actually, no, it's only grown in Indonesia. You can buy it other places. You can buy it in Australia sometimes if you're lucky, but they're very expensive. Obviously, they're grown here, so they're cheap. So let's show you what it is and how you eat it. So basically you peel the skin off. Now, this is consequently one of my mum's favourite foods, right? So you guys know that my mum is Indonesian. Bali is part of Indonesia. That's it. So you peel it up. Very interesting outside, right? Rambutan. And I guess it's like a lychee. And then you just eat the skin. Inside there is a seed. It's very sweet. Very sweet. So Brandon and Ashley got here. We'll be over in Michigan in September for a YouTubers meetup, actually. Shannon, you should go meet up. They're really tasty. I'm going to have one more, guys. I am a bit of a fruit. Oh, you'll be in Athens. Oh, well. Life is tough, right? I don't know why it's got a little bit of dirt or something on it. It's all right, we'll eat around that. M26 meetup, Lake of Dreams campground is what it is. Ah, sounds interesting. So, environmental, have you ever seen these before? Rambutan? You can get them. You can get them in, like a lot of Asian shops. They do sell them. But they're a little bit more expensive. Obviously, they're not native to Australia. They're going to come internationally, right? But they're very tasty. Oh, there's a little bone, like a seed inside. They're actually really nice, Shannon. It does remind you of probably exactly like it, to be honest. I'd actually like to have a lychee next to it to see the difference. I think the lychee is a little bit smaller and not hairy. They're a little bit more round, they're just not as hairy. Rambutan are just hairier. So people call them hairy balls. I sent a photo to a friend. They said, "What's with the hairy balls?" They're tasty. They're really tasty. Really good. I can't tell you what it tastes like. It just tastes like lychee, I guess. They do look tasty, don't they? They do look like hairy balls, don't they, Shannon? So I'm going to eat a little bit more of pineapple that I had. Well, that was my fruit. But I can't go by and not eat some salak. So anyone in the chat, has anyone seen this before? Were you on one of my lives when I was eating the salak? Shannon, were you on that live? Did you watch the replay? Environmental, did you see this live? Brendan and Ash, I don't think you were around, but have you ever heard of this? Snake fruit. Snake fruit. I watched the replay. Okay, cool. So, well, environmental, I don't think you were around, or Brandon and Ash. Salak is another native I don't think so. Okay, so another native fruit to Indonesia. There's about 3 or 4 fruits that are completely only grown in Indonesia. So it's actually called snakes. They call it, the nickname is snake skin. It looks like a snake. It looks like a snake. So you've got to peel off the skin. It's very interesting. I'm very disappointed at half a cup of tea, guys. I might have to go to a cafe or even go downstairs and get to pay for a cup of tea. Okay, it takes a little while, but we get this off. I might just go get a bit of tissue to wipe my hands. Oh, I have one prepared earlier. Oops. Okay. These are like non-alcoholic wipes. Okay. So then you pull it apart. So we've got 3 parts. Sometimes you get 2 parts, sometimes you get 1. So what you do now is there's a bit of skin on it and you've got to rub that off. See, it's kind of coming off. Can't see it very well, but I am rubbing skin off this. It's like a little bit of skin. So you rub that all off. It's literally like skin. This is actually one of my favorite fruits ever. And different regions in Indonesia have different flavors and they grow different ones. So there's one called barley salak and salak gula. Salak gula means sugar salt. Sorry, sugar salak. Gula in Bahasa Indonesian is sugar. So it's called salak gula. I don't know which one this one is now. I've just been buying them from the markets now. When I bought them originally, I bought it from a supermarket and it obviously had the name printed off it on it. So now I have a surprise. Okay, let's see what this one is. Sally, did you see my wigs? No. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Sally. I know I caught you live a couple of days ago. You were very excited about St. Patrick's Day. I had a green beer yesterday for St. Patrick's Day at the beach. So you can see there's a stone in there. That's the fruit. Sorry, that's the seed of the salak. So Sally, we're eating snake fruit, which is an Indonesian fruit called salak. So Sally says, when you stop in, I was showing you the wig, but you must have left early. Yeah, I must have. Sorry, mate. I bet you it was green. I bet you it was green, Sally. So guys, Sally's reality is my friend from Pittsworth, Pennsylvania. Have I got it wrong? I think I've got it wrong. Sally's reality. She does a lot of live streaming, guys. Check her out. I got it right. Well, 5. So, Sally, I'm in Bali at the moment. That's why I'm eating this weird fruit, salak. I just ate a fruit called hairy balls. It's called Rambutan. We just ate that. What does the fruit taste like? This one is, okay, if you Google salak, it says that it tastes like pineapple. I don't know that. I don't think it tastes like pineapple. It's very sweet. This one, I'm sure, is the one that's called gula. It's called salak gula, which is salak sugar. It's more sweeter. The other one that I'll try will be a little sour, but not that sour. It's still sweet, but just a different taste. So Sally's got here, it was a rainbow wig with green, purple, blonde. Wow, that sounds interesting. It's quite filling. Susan was watching me the other day and she said, it's like an apple. You're probably right, it's like an apple. It kind of feels like I'm eating an apple. But I don't know if you can see it, it's just a different, I don't know. It's just, I don't know, I don't really know what it tastes like. So Sally kept on changing wigs. Okay, guys, Sally loves her wigs. Last year, I was doing a series called Wig Ventures, and I will bring that back later on in the year, where I invite people on to wear their wigs and tell us a venture story. So Susan, oh my God, Shannon, I'd love you to get a wig, and then we can do that one day together. And invite everyone else on. Sally's always welcome, and she always has a wig or 3. It was a wig party, wasn't it? Yeah. So then you just keep on taking the skin off again. So guys, it's raining outside at the moment. Normally I've been doing a weather report from Bali. I'll show you in a second when we go out there. I just want to have my breakfast because I was hungry. I hope it does stop because there's a lot of things happening today with this Nepi Day, Nepi Eve. Like I said, there's going to be like parades, amazing stuff, so I can't wait to see it. And the burning of the ogus, which will be amazing to see. These big structures. It takes like 30 people lifting these structures down the streets. They're quite elaborate, and then they burn them. So there's not a lot of information about where it's going to be. So that is the interesting thing. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. Okay. Shannon has a couple, good. And you just think about, you'll have to tell us some stories. So there's no seed in this one. I like these little bits, they're really nice. So, let me tell you what I've been doing in Bali. Chilling on the beach, I'll be honest. I've been going to the beach a lot and having a drink or two on the beach. I don't overly drink a lot of beer. I do enjoy a beer, but they've got a beer here. Bintang beer is quite the known drink here in Indonesia, Bintang. And it's a 4% beer. So, you know, it's a pretty good beer. But they have a different beer here too. It's a Bintang with lemon in it. They call it a Redler. Don't ask me why they call it Redler. But they call it Redler. They reckon Redler means in Bahasa like lime or lemon. I don't know. I'll have to ask my mum that. But it's only a 2% beer and it's really easy to drink and it doesn't make you drunk. it just relaxes you. I think it relaxes you too much. I've been sitting on the beach, just sitting under an umbrella, watching the sunset, drinking a red light, and it's been really, really good for me. Like, I'm normally go, 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 go. So it's been quite good. Though before I did sitting on the beach, I'd walk to like 10 kilometers, so in the heat. So anyway. So tasty. Yeah, environmental. Look it up. Actually, I'll be able to do something here. Hold on. It's dating back from 78 AD. Can't really see this very well. Oh, here we go. So it's dating back from 78 AD, 24 hours of total silence. From 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. the next day, the island stops. The Oga Oga Parade was when big, scary paper mache monsters are marched through the streets to banish evil spirits. Unfortunately I can't make this smaller, guys. The entire island closes down. Hindu residents stay inside. Everyone stays inside. It's a quiet day of reflection, basically. Airports are closed. Everything's closed. Let me see if I've got a photo of one of the Ogo Ogos. I took one yesterday. Here we go. This is huge, this thing, guys. Massive, massive. So normally it takes like 30 people lifting it up on a platform to walk it down the streets. And most times they have like, lots of them. So every community in Bali has one, does this. And they'll all have their individual Ogo Ogos, and a few of them. So it'll be really interesting to see that walking down the street. I don't think they come down my street that I'm staying in because the street is quite small. There'll be another street. But anyway, I think closer to the afternoon, like it's only 9 o'clock now, closer to the afternoon we'll get more information about, how it works and where we'll see it. But that's going to be one of my highlights, I think, is to really see that and how it works. Yesterday I did this, guys. I had a giant-ass cute coconut. The coconut was the size of my head. It was huge. So I walked, I ate a lot of food. This was an amazing food I got yesterday morning for brunch. That was the sunset yesterday afternoon, guys. It's a bit cloudy, but that's all right. There you go. If my friend Sally's still there, I had some green beer for St. Patrick's Day. And then I had a massage. So this is how it works here in Indonesia, guys. Just to show you, that's a nice little flyer. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Absolutely beautiful day. So how it works here in Indonesia is, like I said, people don't, there's no social system here, right? So if you don't work, you don't earn any money. And, people need to eat, right? Sorry, guys, I'm going to have a banana while we do this. So you'll find many different people walking up and down the beach trying to sell you things like hairbands, bracelets, like wooden figurines. But you'll also have people walking down the beach wanting to massage you. Like, would you like a massage on the shoulder? Like, you're sitting at the beach, right? Massage on the shoulder. Would you like a foot massage? And there was this lady, right? I'm not going to say no the whole time because I understand that, you need to spend money here, like locally, so the local people, get money, right? You can't just say no to everything, right? Even though Dora is a bit of a cheapskate, right? I have talked about that before, but I'm a cheapskate so that I can afford to travel more, right? That's why. Let me have a bit of my... So yes, Shannon, so you're having hairy balls and a banana for breakfast. Very, very weird. We won't go there, Shannon. But I get you. I like your sense of humour. So, like I said, you can't say no, no, no to everything, right? You do have to spend some money. And like I said, I'm not Scottish, right? I'm going to spend money. It's just that I don't see the need to spend, $300 on a room that I'm never going to be in. I'm spending $30, right? So at the beach yesterday, I'd walked a lot yesterday. It was hot. I was feeling relaxed, sitting on a beanbag, watching the sun starting to set. It was very, very picturesque. Okay, it was just a very, very beautiful moment to myself. I loved it. Then my mate Paul D Australia turns up. That's, a lot of you guys know Paul D Australia. He turns up. He'd been at another bar. He had lunch to himself and had some drinks. So we organised to meet down and watch the sunset. So he turns up, and before he turned up, I got surrounded by a whole lot of ladies going, "Do you want a massage?" But what they do is they go, they come up to you and shake your hands. "My name is, whatever. What is your name? Nice to meet you." They're trying to make a friend, right? And I felt pained yesterday. I was like, this older lady reminded me of my mum. My mum is 76 years old. And, my mum lives in Australia. She lives a nice life right here. She's very, very grateful. She's very grateful to live in Australia. Because the alternative is that could be my mum walking down the street, like the beach in Bali, asking random strangers to make friends with them, to massage them, right? Now she goes to me, $5, just $5 to massage you. And I just thought, just spend the money, Dora. Spend the money. Now, in the back of my head, I hadn't gone to the ATM. I changed $200 Australian to come to Bali. And I've used my card a few times with more expensive things. Like I went on a tour. I'll tell you about that later. But most of the things I just use cash, right? And I didn't have a lot of cash on me. So I was a bit mindful that I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I had to pay for my bill at the bar, right? And I don't think they have key cards at the bar. It's like a beach bar with like umbrellas and stuff, naturally. But it's like it's not a beach bar that you see in Mexico, like big elaborate things. It's just like a little couple of umbrellas and chairs and a little shack that has beer. So anyway, I was mindful of that. So I was like, but I felt sorry for the lady. I was like, oh, I could see my mum. I'm like, oh, okay. Yes, okay. So once you say yes, this is the problem. You get attacked by many other people. Let me finish a bit more of this. So, just imagine this, guys. I'm sitting there on a beanbag, all relaxed. I have a beer in my hand or on the table. One lady's on my foot, massaging my leg. Here comes another lady. They sit down. They're doing a little bit, something in Indonesian. And then she starts grabbing my leg. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go. I've just said yes to this lady. I have another lady on the other leg, massaging my leg. Then I have another lady come, would you like your neck massage? So I'm like, no, I'm not going to have 3 people massaging me. This is just too much. And then another lady turns up and goes, do you want a bracelet? And another lady goes, do you want a manicure? And then another lady turns up and goes, do you need, I don't know, something? And then another guy turns up with I have 5 people swarming all around me, and I feel, I'm not shy, but I feel bad, right? Because these people are desperate to sell stuff. And look, this could be a tactic, right, too, right? They're like, oh, please, come on, for good luck. It's an epi day tomorrow, for good luck, good luck. I'm sure every day there's a different tactic they try. But it works, guys, it works. It got me. But anyway, I didn't buy anything else, guys. I just sat there, had the massage. So I've got these 2 ladies massaging my feet. I said yes to one of them for $5. I mean, I'm guessing she'd have to do my other foot anyway, but this other lady's doing my other foot. And I'm like, what am I going to do here? And remember, I don't have a lot of money on me. I feel bad. I don't want to rip them off, right? But I also got to pay my bill, right? I'm here to have a couple of drinks with a friend. I can't run out of money, or, I have to say to my friend, hey, can you spot me some beers? Which is, it's okay. Australians do that, right? But I was just mindful of this, right? So anyway, letting it happen, right? You just let it happen. Just let your legs get massaged. It was a very nice massage. I'm going to be honest. It was a very nice massage. The lady that looked like my mum was a very good massager. Her name is something. I can't remember. I'm not very good at catching names. but her hat said number 31. She said, remember 31. I went, okay. So I will have another massage with her again. She was very good. But what happened was she starts saying, you pay her too $5 too. So I knew it was coming, guys. So anyway, whatever. I paid $10 for a massage. It was probably went for about 45 minutes and it was amazing. Yeah. So that's why a lot of people when they come visit Bali, you know, they always say no to people when you walk past, like, you know, would you like a massage? Would you like this? Would you like this? You know, it's constant barrage of people asking you, do you want this? Do you want this? But, you know, you have to put yourself into their place. Like, this is how they earn money. They don't get money from the government. Environmental, you know yourself, you're in Australia, you're Australian born, that, you know, if you ever lost your job, I mean, I don't know your situation, environmental, but, you know, if you ever lost your job or if you don't work, you get money from the government. It's just a given. I mean, people, when I tell people that about Australia, they're like, are you serious? Like, if you're sick, you get money. If you don't work, you get money. If you have a disability, you get money. If you're old, you get money. Yeah, you get money. Mind you, it's not easy to get, but you can get money. Sorry, guys, I'm just cleaning up my mess. I've got green powder that I had, you know, residue that I dropped. So, yeah, so, you know, just, that was my breakfast, guys. That probably cost me $1. All that probably cost me not even $1. So $2 breakfast, guys. $2. So that I can spend money having a massage, right? Although we have tons of homeless people. Yes, that's the thing. I think you're not alone, Shannon, that, you know, we have lots of homeless people because there's nowhere to live. And look, sometimes people are homeless for their own reasons. They don't want to live in housing. Yes, I'm off-grid doll. Oh, that's right. You're an off-grid doll bludger. We're very lucky. I love that. Oh, an off-grid doll bludger. That's right. Environmental lives up in the somewhere in the country in Victoria on land, but he gets money from the government, right? So that would probably be about at least $300 a week. I'll just put you in a perspective here. People in Bali or people in Indonesia wouldn't make $300 a month. They wouldn't even make it, you know, doing $5 massages. Do you think how many $5 massages can you do in a day? A lot of the time you're walking around asking people, do you want a massage? And they say, no, 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 no. So it's hot as hell. Okay, $430 a week. Okay, so it's even better, right? Imagine that, guys, $430 a week, right? I understand that things cost money in Australia, yes, too. But you compare that to another country, right, that you're traveling in, like me, say yes to the massage. You know, say yes to this crappy bracelet that you don't want. Take it home and give it to your niece, right? I'm going to say yes, but I'm mindful of the fact that I'm here for a little while. If I say yes to everyone, every time they see me, they will be hooking on, right? So I'm mindful of that. So there's a method in my madness that, you know, I said yes to the massage because I felt sorry for the lady because I thought she looked like my mum, legitimately, like she looked my mum's age. And I think about my mum having to walk up and down the beach in Bali in the stinking hot. Peter, hello, Peter, how you going? My mate Paul, I think, is out walking at the moment. So Peter is from the UK, guys. So Peter, we were just having breakfast here in Bali. I just want to show you, I was talking about Rambutan. It's only found here in Indonesia, Rambutan. It's like light cheese. We just ate that for breakfast. And we also ate a salak, another thing that's only found in in Indonesia. Not native to Bali. Bali's, you know, is a part of Indonesia, obviously. But anyway, welcome in, Peter. So we're just talking about, you know, being lucky that, you know, we live in lucky countries. UK, we've got someone in the UK, we've got someone in Australia, we've got someone in America. all have social systems, different way they work, right? I only know the way it works in Australia. Environmental talks about how he gets $430 a week for not having a job. Whereas in Indonesia, Bali, where I am right now, they don't get that. So I've done a few lives from the beach. I don't show the people, asking for money, but you can hear it in the background. Many people walk past and, do you want to watch? Do you want, a pitch, many people sending paintings, carvings. Now, this is the other thing they do. There's little girls, 7-year-old girls, little girls walking down the beach, asking you if you want to buy a bracelet or a magic trick. They'll do a magic trick and ask for a tip. Imagine that, guys. They're not even going to school. 7-year-old girls walking down the beach. I'm sure their mum's somewhere too, also walking down the beach, asking for, doing the same thing. But, imagine that. If you've got children or, you're a girl yourself like me, imagine not going to school. Imagine, your schooling was like walking down the beach, asking for money off tourists. I don't know. It's very sad. Okay, guys, I forgot to do this. Have you buried Paul in the sand yet? Probably. I think he's gone. I don't know where he is actually. He's gone for a walk or something. He's in a hotel room downstairs. I'm upstairs. I shouldn't have said that. I'm somewhere in the hotel. He has breakfast in the hotel room. In the hotel downstairs. I kind of go out and have breakfast or eat it in my room. But yesterday I went to the market and I was hungry. When you go shopping and you shouldn't go shopping when you're hungry, you buy stuff you shouldn't buy. I bought this. Let's eat this together, guys. It's an Indonesian snack. Let me just figure out how to open it. Yes, it's full of sugar. Yes, it's very bad. Gone to the dry cleaners to pick up his straight jacket. Probably. Actually, he was going to go to the laundry today, Peter. So you might be right off you might be right there. So yes, it's a cake. The cakes in Indonesia are always not so sweet, guys. They're just a little bit. They're a little sweet, full of sugar, but not too much sugar. I don't love it, I'm going to be honest. Artificial colouring, right? It's not very sweet. Like I said, the sweets here are not sweet. I personally don't like, it's not my flavour. I'm not much into pastries. Again, I bought it for experience, to try it. Anyway, that was my breakfast. That was all right. I like that. So, should we go look at the weather report? Should we do a weather report? Okay, now for safety, guys, I have to walk around in circles for a bit, so you don't know exactly where I'm staying, which room, and also I'm not going to tell you the name of the hotel, just for safety, right? So let's go for a walk. I point out that my room is boarded up because of Nepi Day. So all the rooms here are boarded up so that the light doesn't come through. If you look here, it looks like, we're in a war-torn country. But all the windows are boarded up for that reason. So we're going to do a weather report, guys. Weather report from Bali. This is a nice little area to sit. So she's raining. Have I find you a Thai bride? Oh, we're not in Thailand, mate. That would be hard to find you a Thai bride, lady. So the pool is overflowing with water. So I love this, Shannon. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is like a little Hindu shrine. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't it beautiful, Shannon? I know, Peter. I know. It's very beautiful. There's a little waterfall there too. And there's fish in there too. Little waterfall. There's big ass fish in there. There you go. So you can see the big goldfish. So yeah, the sun looks like it might come out. A little bit of a glimmer of blue sky. But yeah, that is the weather report from Bali, guys. Should we go downstairs and see if we can say hello to Paul? We'll see if he's around. Let's see if he's around, okay, guys? Let me just get my key. Let me just go to my room again. Like I said, I'm distracting you so that you don't know where my room is, right, guys? That's what I have to do. Look at my feet. Look at my feet. Look at my feet. Have a key somewhere here. Where is my key? I did have a key. What do I do with my key, guys? Not in my pocket. Not in my pocket. Oh, there's my key. Don't tell you my number. All right, let's get rid of this rubbish. So there's been a fair bit of rain. There seems to be, the ground is very wet. Oh, they might have just cleaned the floor. I'm just standing on it. Sorry. Morning.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
You got food, eh?
Yes. Okay, I've just cleaned the floor. Okay, let's see if we can see Paul. Paul was probably already gone off on his adventure, but I'll show you a little bit around downstairs. Hopefully it still works, the Wi-Fi is working. I'm not going to show you where Paul's staying either, but I'm just looking. He's not in his room. Let's have a little look. Let me have a little look. If he's in the hotel room. He's not down here. He's already gone for a walk probably. But I'll show you that. I'm going to go show you that little, whoa. Hold on. Run, Forrest, run. Run, Forrest, run. I'm going to go show you the little shrine because it's very, very pretty. It's very pretty. Just bear with me. Hello, how you going? It's very, very pretty. But look at the detail in it. The Balinese dancing girls. And you've got a door at the front back. You can walk through. A little waterfall. And there is fish in here. I love how they've got the moss on it. It looks really nice. So Bali's quite green because there's a lot of rain. But see, here's an offering up here. Just walk around the back. It's very pretty.